and welcome back to C# Math App tutorial. So I'm going to exit out. Let's go back to Form 1. Now let's double click on Result. Double click on the Result button right there. So what I'm going to then do is I'm going to first of all create an object for my form, that is form 2, that is going to be equals frm2 equals new form. I'm going to be using this to call form number 2 if we get it right. There we go. Now let's create some more variables that we intend to use. These variables, whatever we have inside the text box. So let's see, whatever we have inside, I'm going to just copy this. I'll change it around. Come right down here, paste that here, paste. So I will then change all of this here to, let's say, convert dot to double. And whatever we have inside text box 1 txt num1 dot text, it is stored inside this local variable num1, and the same thing is going to apply to num2. So change this to txt number 2, and number 2, value of number 2 is stored inside this local variable num1. Now I'm going to declare another 2 local variable. I'll call, let's say, answer, and the next one is going to be known as result. There we go. Now add value. Add value is one of the global variable that was declared. That is it right here. In that case, I want to increment add value by 1. So come right down here, add value equals add value plus 1. Enter. Semicolon. Now let's use an if statement. If anything we have inside LBL operator dot text, if that is equals to the plus sign. Now we want the following to happen. Answer, that will be equals what we have inside number 1 plus what we have inside variable number 2. There we go. This should be double equals there. So that's the very first one taken care of. So I'm going to copy this, and we now use else if. If the value in here, if that is subtract, then this should be subtract as well. Now repeat the same thing for the next operator. The next operator, we're going to call that multiply. So this becomes multiply, and this becomes multiplication sign as well. And one more operator. This one is going to be division, and this will be division as well. And else, finally here, I'm going to say else, let's say answer equals 0. There we go. Now whatever you enter inside LTXT result here, we now want to store that inside our result. So come right down here, let's go right here underneath here. I'm going to say result equals convert dot to double, close that, dot to double, whatever we have inside, txt result dot text. There. Now the answer that you entered is stored inside the result, so let's use conditional statement to check whatever you enter against the system answer. So I'm going to say if result is not equals answer, which is right here, then I want the following. In the first place, I want my sound operator here is happy. I want her to say something for me, so I'm just gonna grab hold of this. Let's come right down here and just paste that right here. Someone's happy to say one or two things, so right here, get rid of this, and in here let's say incorrect answer. The right answer is, okay, the right answer is, and I'll say plus convert dot to string, and in here I'm going to enter answer. There. So Happy will say that for us. Okay, so after that we say LBL display text. As LBL display dot text, that will be equals convert these two as follows. Then that will display the right answer right here. Okay, now in that case, your value, you will lose a number or a value, so I'm going to say add value minus minus. There, you just lost a point. Then we call our function again and start it all over, and let's say txt result dot focus, and we should clear the text, whatever we have in there anyway before. Okay, focus, but clear it. There. Now that's it. So one more thing that we then need to do is, if you get it wrong, we want this music to play for us. So I'm going to grab hold of that audio. Let's come in here. Remember the audio file that I copied? I'm going to use this. Let's say alarm, just to say you've got it wrong. Just an alarm. So select it, hold on to the shift key, and then right click, select copy part. This very one, copy the part. So we're going to need a win and this one as well. So right underneath here, I'm now going to say sound player. Let's say is SP, and SP equals new sound player. And this new sound player has as follows. So I'm going to enter the value that I've just copied now, the address of the audio, paste that in there. That is the address of the audio, but as you can see, I have an error because it's we need to change that to / instead of \. So double / and just repeat the same thing for the others. paste, paste, and paste. There we go. There, I think we have one or two more. There we go, and right there, all done. Okay, that's all you need to do. After that, you then need to get the system to load up and play. Dot load, and press enter, and speed out, play. There we go, that's it, all done. And look at my audio address. Alright, so the very first one is taken care of. And supposing we get it right, I'm going to copy all of this. And I am going to paste it right underneath here. Move this up so that you guys can see it. Paste. So in that case, if result equals answer. Okay. And I want Sappy to say something. But then, we don't need this anymore because the answer is right. Delete that. Okay. I can just put a sound in there. So let's grab hold of this, and I'll just change this to win. I think I do have an audio sound called win. That is it right there. So let's just change that to win. There. So grab hold of all of these and just paste it right up there, or just highlight and drag there. And I will also grab hold of these, cut that off, and just paste them right underneath there. There we go. Now, instead of we losing a point in this case, we've actually gained a point, and I want that very point to be displayed inside. That should be right inside LBL store points. So let's come right down here. I'm going to get rid of this, and let's say LBL store point dot text, and that is equals convert dot to string, and that is add value. There we go. We've just added a value. Add value. So we can even say +1 there. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this, deleting the value. We don't have to delete any value. Let's see, add value. Yeah. Oh, we've added it here, so I don't need to add one to it anymore. Let's see. Yeah, I did add. Yeah, that's fine. So get rid of this. So it's going to be just add value. Alright, and that is added. Then we call the function again. Okay, once we call the function again, we want to get focus inside here and just get rid of whatever we have in there, get focus there. So that's fine. And finally, right underneath here, let's enter as follows. If we now have two scores, we want to go straight to the next one, or the next form here, this very form. So we can just take care of that here, right in here, using an if statement. If LBL, this very one, okay, if that is the value in there equals 2, we want this. We want happy to pause. We want the form to show and hide. Let's say happy dot pause. form 2. Remember the object form 2 that was created earlier? We now want it to show. And in that case, this dot hide. This is this form number 1. There. That is it. Now let's store the whole value, everything. We just need to store that right in here. So I'm going to say LBL store point dot text, that is equals convert dot to string, yeah, whatever we have inside, add value there, and that should take care of that. Alright, that is fine. Okay, before I run it, let's take care of this very one here. And these two, I'm just going to call the function, this very function. Call this, you can change that to what you want. Okay, so we can say that's clear txt that the text that is equals clear. Call that function. I'm going to do the same thing for number 2. Number 2. Right. txt results. Yeah, we need to clear that as well. There. In the case of reset, we just need to call this. So let's go back in here and double click on our reset button and paste that right there. Okay, that is it. Alright, so that is fine. Now let's try this out and see if we'll be able to go straight into form number 2. So the condition is I must have 2 values in here. Okay, so let's run it and see. System is coming up a little bit slow. Let's see. There we go.
15 minus 10, what is the answer?
So let's say we get the answer right. Very good. We should have
19 multiplied by 6, what is the answer?
Okay, I'm going to get this wrong.
Incorrect answer. The right answer is 114.
Very good.
14 plus 2, what is the answer?
Alright, get that right. And that should take us straight to form 2. We have a 2 here. There. We are straight in form 2. That is fine. So the system is working how we want it to work. But before I do anything with the form number 2, I'm going to double click on this. Okay. Well, we can even first of all copy everything, but double click on the exit button. Double click on the exit button and let's take care of exit. So right inside the exit button, I'm going to use the try catch in there just to grab hold of any error that I might run into. And I will then say system dot window and dot forms dot dialog result, and the name of that I'm going to call it, it's like my variable, I call it I exit. There we go. Now I'm going to use happy to prompt the end user to confirm if they want to exit or not. So let's just grab hold of happy here. So right in here, underneath here, we say drop that in there, saying confirm if you want to exit. There we go. Now question is asked, confirm if you want to exit. So close that. There we go. So it's happy we actually speak that out. Now let's say I exit, that to be equals message box dot show. What do you want me to show? I'm just going to say confirm if you want to exit. So grab hold of that and paste that in here. So that will be my very first argument, comma. The second argument, that is going to be, let's say that's the math app itself. Then the third argument, that will be message box button dot question. Let's say key, yeah, question. Yes or no. It's not a question there. So let's press enter here. And the fourth argument, comma, message box icon. So for the icon, I'm going to select maybe exclamation or question. The choice is yours. Dot question. There we go. Alright, now we then use an if statement to check the selection made. If I exit equals dialog result dot yes. Okay, then we want the application to exit. Application dot exit. There. Now let's use a try catch. Catch exception ex. So the following message will display. The choice is yours, whatever message you want to enter. So in there, I'm just going to enter whatever. So we can say message box show as follows. ex.message, you can put a comma and you just say whatever, error, okay, mass app, error on mass app, there we go, or in mass app, whatever. Error in mass app, error on mass app. Then I'm going to say comma and so on. Just grab hold of these two method. Paste. I'm going to change this one to OK. Press enter here. Change this question mark to maybe error handling dot error. Yeah, that's fine. Or exclamation or whatever. And that's it. That is my error handler taken care of for the exit. Of course, you can always just enter application.exit. The choice is yours. Okay, just something like this. I'm going to copy that, paste that in there. This can just be your exit. But come to look at it, or come to think of it, that is not user friendly at all. Look at that. Because you might run into an error and you mistakenly click on this and you just lost everything you've been working on. That is why I prefer it this way. Let the system prompt you to confirm if you want to exit or not. This is more user friendly. Alright, that's fine. So all of that is taken care of for form number 1. As for form number 2, all I'm just going to do is look, I'm going to copy everything we have in here, select it all, copy, and I'm going to go to form number 2 and I will just paste. There we go. That is it, all done. Now the difference is I'm gonna come here, grab hold of this, paste it right on top. Okay, and I want to grab hold of maybe this, bring it here, and I will just type in program over, or game over. Type in game over. Game over. Let's put it on 2 lines. Game over. There we go. And here I want you to cover that and cover this as well. So let's come into the properties and change the auto size to false. There we go. Now we can then do what we like, just to prevent the user from entering whatever in there. And come right here and let's get it centered where it's aligned. Align should be somewhere here. There we go. And get it centered there. And we also need to change the name. Okay, let's come right here to the properties. I'm going to change that to LBL. LBL game over. There we go. Now, one more thing that we need to do is I'm going to need a counter. So I'm going to call that timer counter. Let's grab hold of this. Paste this here. Yep. So copy this. Paste it right here. And I'll just call that LBL timer counter. There. Taken care of. Now I need a timer, so go straight to the properties, scroll right down. You should be able to get hold of a timer here. That's it. Double click and your timer is right here. Brilliant. Once that is done, we need the following lines of code. You see every single lines of code in here and the method as well. So let's go in here. First of all, I'm going to grab hold of the method that we have inside form 1. That is the method right here, but we need all of these as well. So let's go back inside form number 2 and do the following. So let's grab hold of this method, scroll right down, copy everything there, copy, go inside form number 2, double click on the form, underneath initialize, paste that. There might be an error because I need to declare these variables. So let's call those variables inside form 1. There we go. Copy that. There will still be error with the sound because I haven't really initialized that. So double click on this, go right up here, paste it right underneath partial class. There we go. Now I have error with the speech synthesizer. To take care of that, come right here. You see here, project, add reference, and in here type in speech. Click on that and click on OK. Now we have speech synthesizer in there. Then we need to call the library itself. Paste dot speech dot synthesizer. That's it. The error is gone. But we also need one more for the media dot media. There. That is that done. Okay, all of that is done. So now let's go back into form 1. Right inside form 1 we need the result. Double click on result. Grab hold of everything that we have in here. I'm not going to need this, but I'm not going to need that. Just copy and we just change 1 or 2 things in there. Right up to here, copy. Now double click on result and paste. Okay, now we need to change this. We don't need this. Get rid of that. In fact, we don't really need all of this. Instead, I'm going to use the timer to do something for me. So I'm just going to maybe comment all of that out or just get rid of it. So I'm going to get rid of it. There we go. Now let's take care of the timer itself. Now double click on the timer. Before I can get the timer to do anything, let's first of all create a variable in here. I'm going to call that duration. It's an integer duration, and the duration is going to be 1000. Sorry, 100. That's fine. 1000 is too much. There. So back into my timer again. Right inside my timer here, I'm going to use as follows: if duration equals 0, then I want the following to happen. Okay, I'm going to say timer 1 dot stop. Actually, we need to start timer 1 once the form loads, so I need to do that as well on form 2 load. So I'm going to then say LBL game over dot visible, that is going to be true. No, that should be true, equals true. There we go. In that case, duration will be equals, let's say plus equals 1. Else, if the duration is, let's say, less than and equals to, no, greater than 0, I want this. If duration, that is, if that is greater than 0, that should be else if. Then we can say duration minus minus. Okay, we don't really need this though, but I'm going to put it for now. Let's see, 1. Alright, close that. And the duration is going to be minus minus. We want the timer to stop. Timer 1 dot stop. And LBL timer counter dot text, that will be equals duration. There we go. Let's go into form 2. Form 2 load. Double click on the form itself. Right in here, first thing we need to call our function, this very function. Grab hold of that. Click on that form 2 again and paste that in here. And here we also want txt result dot focus. Enter semicolon. Now here we were supposed to enable the, let's say, timer dot enable, that will be equals true. Okay, and what else? I'm going to also say timer 1, that will be equals new. Let's go for system window, system dot window dot forms dot timer. dot timer. There. Okay. I'm also going to have to specify the interval of this timer. So I'm going to say timer1 equals dot interval, that will be equals 100. And finally, get the timer to start, dot start. There, that is it, all done. Alright, but there's one more thing. Okay, you see, when the timer is over, or when the timer becomes 0, what we want the system to do is, when the countdown becomes 0, I want the game over to be visible. So which means it will display this. Okay, at the beginning, from load, game over is not visible. Okay, so what we're going to do is, because the timer is still counting then, so what we're going to do is we're going to come in here, select game over. Let's go into the properties and select this event, and I'm going to go look for visible something. Okay, there we go, visible change. Once it becomes visible, I want SAPI to do as follows. So I'm going to say SAPI dot, I would like you to say the following. Let's just say goodbye. The game is over. There, that's all SAPI needs to say. There. And right underneath here, let's get rid of the double quote. Let's get rid of that. I'm going to say btn check score dot enable. I want that disabled if it's shown, so I want it to that enable equals true. Okay, that enable, yeah, okay, let's say equals, yeah, equals true. There, that is it. The game is over. And one more thing, because you see, when I end the system, let's see, let's run it first before I carry out those changes. Let's see how this is gonna look like. It's coming up.
15 multiplied by 10, what is the answer?
Okay, let's get that right.
20 divided by 10, what is the answer?
So enter 2 in there. We should go to the next level now.
14 multiplied by 5, what is the answer?
So I need to change here.
Goodbye. The game is over.
See that? There. Okay, so I actually want the system, I want to change here to level 2, and I also want to, I should have been able to disable that. Okay, so that should be disabled. Then the other thing is I also need to take care of this. Okay, let's disable this. So let's go in here. Once we have goodbye, the game is over, this should be disabled. So let's go back in here. That will become false. There. Now exit, double click on exit and copy all of this. Double click exit, paste that in there. Now you see the form itself, exit form, because when I exit on the first form, I want to be able to exit the whole system. So I'm going to select form, go straight to the properties and go back straight into where we have the event, and let's look for closing, form closing. That very one, that's the event there. Click on that, and in there just enter application dot exit. There we go. That is fine. Now, from number 2, we need to change this to level 2 C# math operator. Select that, come right here. Let's go into here and just change that to level 2. There we go. Right. Okay, let's try it all out now. Again, that is my timer, so let's run it one more time and see. It's coming up. See.
20 multiplied by 3, what is the answer?
Okay, let's get that right. That is 60. That's fine.
16 multiplied by 1, what is the answer?
That is 16. And that should take us to from 2.
21 minus 8, what is the
And
answer?
you see the timer. Okay. Look at the timer goes. And once we get to there we go, game over. Okay.
Goodbye. The game is over.
And that is it. And that's how you create your own math app in C#. I just need to move this over here. So click on that and come right here and just move this slightly to this side. And that is it, guys. So guys, with that, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you all enjoyed, and please do subscribe to this channel, and you can also join to become a member of the channel. There are a lot of benefits if you're a member. So you all have a nice day now, and bye for now.